Life.
Hey everybody, welcome to Hey everybody, welcome to episode 212 of the Seal podcast for February the 16th, 2024. My name is Fraser. I'm joined on my left by Neil
Hello.
and on my right by Dave.
Hello.
We all right, boys?
Yeah.
Made it.
Very well.
Made it.
Made it
Made
past
through another-
Valentine's Day.
Made it through another I was just going to say made it through another day, but yes, through another Valentine's Day.
Hmm.
Were
My
you able
wife's
to
been
open your door, Neil?
Yeah. No problem here. No problem whatsoever.
No rogue Valentine's, lads? Just the one from the wife?
No.
Nothing from the wife?
No. Just a cough and a cold, largely.
Oh. I know Dave got Valentine's. He definitely did.
Oh, so story about this.
Here we go.
We don't normally do Valentine's.
What,
Uh-oh.
really? Oh,
Well,
I would have had
well-
you nailed on as a massive Valentine's giver
Well,
back
well,
and forth.
we've been married 14 years.
Okay.
It's not quite a long time. And
Have you got matching tattoos?
no.
Okay.
We did get tattoos at the same time when we was in
That-
Turkey.
Oh, yeah, that's the same thing.
But not matching.
What were the what just chose something that you wanted then what
Yeah, I had something on my arm and Mrs. had something on her hip, I think.
you
but
think you know exactly what they fucking are.
I've got an symbol on my.
We've done this
Om.
before, haven't we?
Have I?
Yeah.
I can't. And Vic's got something. I can't remember something on a
A
wrist.
spread eagle on her back.
So anyway, long story. No, it's not a long story.
Nothing's more fun than derailing Dave.
It's so easily done. So we don't normally we used to do Valentine's Day, but we don't anymore. But the missus was like, "Oh, let's do Valentine's." I don't know. She saw something on Facebook. I don't know. The story is, she'd got me a present and then decided that we should do Valentine's gifts. It's like, okay, fine. So went out and bought a card and spent quite a long time, about half hour, thinking about what to write out and wrote out on it and bought 12 roses and steaks.
Holy smokes, you went for it.
And a bottle of wine. I'd promised her I'd do a steak dinner and some crushed potatoes.
This is a vegan steak, was it?
No, it was not vegan steak. I only sound vegan because I can't eat dairy, and it's just easier. So yeah, so like
If you say that, so when you say to people you vegan, you're not going to get any dairy, so that's pretty much covers that, right?
It's easier saying I'm vegan.
That's why I say my name is David every time I order anything. It's just easier.
So
That's true, by the way.
I know.
Yeah.
What, instead of the conversation about why your name's Fraser?
No, did we not go over this? We have a lot of we have very mixed cultures here in Canada, right? And
Right.
so chances are you're speaking to someone who's not Western, right? And the
Right.
Fraser that just blows their mind. I've noticed, but like their names, like we
Have
should
you ever been
check
to
those
Starbucks?
too, right?
Anything blows their mind.
Yeah,
no
that's true.
one gets their name right.
What was the
Starbucks.
thing? What was that Starbucks one? Where it was, he said, "What's your name?" And he goes, "Mark with a K," and they gave him his cutback, and it said Kark.
Just
So-
yeah.
Come on,
So,
Dave, out with it.
Back to my story. So I went all out. I went to Waitrose. I bought. Well, I couldn't actually buy 2 steaks of the same. I
Oh,
had
we
to get
didn't
a
have
rump
any
steak
steaks
and
in Tesco's when I went shopping. on
they
Tuesday.
were. It was pretty slim pickings. So I went out. 20 quid bottle of wine, 30 roses, about 30.
Oh, it's gone up
35
since we
quid.
last said.
Some steaks. I've done it nice, and I made dinner. And the missus bought
You
me.
threw money at the problem.
Yeah.
And time and effort.
So the whole reason the missus wanted to do Valentine's Day is because she got me a water bottle from the gym, and a a towel.
The gym.
And she bought me a card and said, I can't believe I've put up with you for so long, or something like that. Happy Valentine's Day, love you, Vic. And I was like, oh, fuck's sake.
You could, but you just.
So yeah, she done me on. She could
You
have
done
just.
yourself, mate. You did yourself, didn't you?
Thing is, if I didn't do that, it would have been the opposite, and I'd have felt bad. So
Yeah, I don't go that big all out. I mean, I do a card and some chocolates usually. That's it, right? You know,
well,
just you know, minimal gesture. I call it.
or just the gesture.
We didn't
Just,
get.
just,
We didn't even
just
get that far.
enough.
There was no gestures this time.
I have embarked on, so for the last, finding nice cards used to do my head in, and then I sort of started finding the corniest cards, and it's just become my thing now, right? I just buy my wife the worst cards I can find. And the bonus is you never really have to look for too long, and you can really look in the cheapest
really
sections
don't have
too.
look very long for a bad card. Just leave it till the last day, and that's usually all that's left is the bad cards.
Yeah.
I find that just even if you just personalize it a little bit, like not do a bit more than the dear wife, happy Valentine's.
At least put her
Love you
name
lot.
in there.
But yeah, no. So yeah, so I got a bottle and a towel for
A
Valentine's.
water bottle of all
A
sorts.
water bottle. Yeah, I know. Not even like full of alcohol.
Not even, no alcohol in it. What's on the menu tonight, boys? Anything?
Oh,
My
sure.
giant beers. Beers as big as my head.
All right.
Dave's on the fancy stuff. Trendy whiskey.
Yeah.
You got the bit of orange in
week.
that one? Is that the one with a bit of orange in?
No, it's single grain Scotch whiskey, matured in bourbon cask.
All right. You got that on the go then?
With some lemonade as well.
Nice.
I've got Kingfisher because we had curry for dinner.
Oh,
all right.
Gotta have Kingfisher. It's either Kingfisher, Singer, or what's
Singer's
the other one?
Thai one. Singer's Thai.
Yeah.
Cobra is the
Cobra. That's the other one.
Is it called Bangra? I think there's one called Bangra at one of the curry places we go to. That's quite nice.
Oh, so that's what we went to last week. I think this was after the podcast. I think, was it Saturday? We did an all-you-can-eat, a buffet, Indian buffet. Oh, it was good, boys.
I was going to say, how many barges did you have?
I didn't actually have any bargees.
What's your go-to curry then?
Well, my go-to, I don't really like anything with bone in it, so most of my go-to curries are either veggie curries or chicken curries. So I like a chicken
have
masala,
bones other
butter
than like
chicken. Yeah,
lamb chops?
Yeah. I mean, I think it leans a little bit here. It's less British tailored. I don't think. I think you realize. I realize a little bit like the Indian restaurants are very UK tailored, right? Not totally, but quite UK tailored, and they have sort of slight things that they do. Like they don't really, as far as I can see, go for the poppadoms as big, right, over here and stuff.
I didn't have poppadoms today.
But yeah, anyway, the standout for me was goat. I had goat curry. Very nice. Yeah.
Is that a bit like lamb?
Yeah. It was.
Feel like it would be.
It's very, yeah. It's. I want to say
mutton.
it was. Yeah, probably more like a mutton. Very, very flavorful. I want to say gamey in a way, but it's not quite gamey. I don't know. It's difficult to describe, but it was
strong flavor of meat.
Very strong flavored, yeah. But it was nice, yeah. It was good.
What sort of spicy? Did you have spicy?
Yeah, it was a lot of spice. Yeah.
Do you have like a name, your curry, other than goat? What was it? It was not like a goat boona or whatever.
No, I can't remember it. I think they had a goat curry and then they had a
tikka masala.
It might have been a goat masala or something. I'm not sure.
That seems weird. I feel like chicken goes well with tikka masala because it doesn't really taste so much, does it? Chicken.
I don't. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. They definitely had like a goat curry, generic goat curry, I guess they call it. Or whatever, but
the most
chicken tikka du piazza I had today.
How many plates did you have?
I only had two. I only went up. I did 2 plates and a dessert, but my mate did 3. He went back in. Yeah, he really put the feed bag on.
He's not eating the next day.
I could have gone in for a third, but the problem is, I have had a few meals in the last sort of 6 months where I've done that, gone full out, And honestly, I was in so much discomfort going to sleep that I actually just don't want to do that anymore. Like, there is a point, like, when you generally can't sleep because you think you've done so much.
Do you keep Rennies by your bedside nowadays?
It's not even that. I mean, I don't have anything. It was just so full, right? Just really had.
You couldn't lie on your tummy.
Couldn't. Yeah, it was good. It was very good.
Yeah, so ours was good today.
Awesome.
Absolutely jammed packed with Indians, basically Indians, Asians, whatever we may call. Interesting people next door to me were tucking in, no utensils. They're just getting in there with their hands. Yeah.
So there's Bangladeshi, was it?
I don't know. So there's a lot of. I think they're trying to cater to as many as they can. They did have a little tiny Western section, so you could get a pizza and some fries if you wanted, right? For that person who turns up and doesn't like any of it, right? Yeah, it was good.
So it was good buffet though, because is it an Indian restaurant?
Big buffet hall. It's almost like it's got
not
huge,
like a place that does everything.
No, it's just Indian. It's just Indian, yeah, but it's massive, and it was rammed. So that's a good sign. Yeah. I'm very annoyed. I've only just discovered it. It's taken this long.
Well, at least you had.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's another one of the feeding stations we'll have to take you to when you guys come over.
Finally get over there,
yeah. All right, let's move on to some football then.
Okay.
Or not, actually, now that I come to think of it.
Oh, you don't want to talk about football, no?
Not anymore.
Oh, let's talk about football. I don't really want to talk about football too much either, to be honest. But I guess we have to.
You don't have to. You can do whatever you want.
I guess we don't have to, but we're going to. So we had game week 24 last week. Why has my OBS disappeared? So what have we got? We got Manchester City beating Everton 2-0. Fulham beating Bournemouth 3-1. Liverpool beating Burnley 3-1. I don't want to read this next one out, but it's Sheffield United beat Luton 3-1.
Yeah, that was no good, was it?
No, it was no good.
Lute. That was a really bad one.
Do you know what?
That was supposed to be nailed.
I don't think it's going to have a big impact on the positions at the end of the season. I think they're still shit. We just lost. We didn't. We had more possession, more shots, more blah blah blah, but gifted them 2 or 3 goals easy. So rubbish. If only got Man United this weekend. It's all right, fine. And then Liverpool away. I'm sure we'll get 6 points out of those 2.
You make it up.
Yeah, we smashed Brighton the other day, so that's basically made up for losing to Sheffield.
You've got games in the pocket this season that are fine, right? So you've made your mark. Not that you'll be fine maybe for staying up, but you've got memorable. You know, it's not like Sheffield United who would just get the.
Oh, they've got memories, probably bad ones last week.
Yeah, not very good ones. No.
Shall we move on to anyway? Spurs beat Brighton 2-1. Brentford beat Wolves 2-0. Bit of a, I don't know, guess Brentford back are in form and Wolves. Hopefully that's just a momentary slip up. Newcastle beat Forest 3-2. Arsenal absolutely slammed West Ham 6-0.
They really did batter them.
Yes. And Man United beat Aston Villa 2-1. Excuse me, which may have been a surprise. And
did you watch it?
Probably. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, Man, you shouldn't have won.
Well, you can say that most weeks. Chelsea beat Palace 3-1. That was 2 late goals for Chelsea in that game. And fucking Cole Palmer had done nothing, and then he got 2 assists. And I was pissed off at that. Fucking Chelsea.
Yeah, go on, Palmer. He saved my blushes.
Yeah, no, he didn't.
Well, he didn't actually.
didn't do enough to save your blushes.
No.
But it could have been worse. Let's put it that way. So the big bonus points went to Erling Haaland, who's back on form, 2 goals. Muniz of Fulham, no one's got him in their team, I'm sure. Harvey Elliott of Liverpool, again, no one's got him in their team. Vinny Souza of Sheffield United, yep, no one's got him in their team. Pascal Gross, people have got him in their team, Brighton. Sergio Reguilon, remember him? Of Spurs of old. Playing at Brentford now. Got 3 bonus points. Bruno Guimaraes for Newcastle got the 3 bonus points. A couple of lovely goals for him. And Declan Rice, during the aforementioned battering of West Ham, his former West Ham player of many years, scored and 2 assists against his old club. Didn't celebrate, obviously.
Last week, I watched a lot of football again, and it felt to me like if you had on paper, if you knew who was playing against their former clubs, those are the people you wanted in your squad. It seemed like every game, the people who were scoring, was against their former clubs.
Oh, yeah, Gallagher at Chelsea. I guess he's sort of always been a Chelsea player, but he did play at Palace for quite a long time, and he got the 3 bonus points. Got 2 goals, didn't he, for Chelsea? Yeah. And Douglas Luiz of Villa. I think he only got the 3 bonus points for his little shimmy celebration, when he scored right in front of the goalkeeper. I don't know how many. I think that on the BPS, that's like 100 BPS points. If you do a ridiculous celebration. What's BPS is how they work out the bonus points.
Oh, okay. Bonus point system.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like completed passes and shots on target and all that bollocks. And shimmy celebrations in front of goalkeepers, apparently. So the player of the week, the player who scored the most points in the game week was Declan Rice. 1 goal, 2 assists, and a clean sheet, 3 bonus points. I think he got 17 points. So not as high as we've had recently, but, not many people got Declan Rice in that team. He's a pretty lowly owned player. About fucking Saka still doing the business, isn't he? He did fuck all for week Saka. And the week I took him out, he got 3 points as my captain. And then ever since then, he's got fucking loads of points. So it's really annoying. Anyway, so top scorers in our league. The average score for the whole competition was 62 points.
Oh, so close.
Tim Bradstock, 92 points. Oh, and Nathan and Christian both got 86 points in second or third, top 3. So that leaves us with the top 3 in the league. The boy Adam, 1,501 points. Second place, Nathan, 1,427 points. It's quite a big gap. Although he did catch up 10 points. And David slipped down a place. Down to third, 1,425. The top 4 are definitely a little bit further. I don't know. It's a little bit creeping away, but still, maybe the top 6 are in with a shout. I guess 7th downwards looking a bit ropey now.
7th downward looks well ropey now. But you wait.
This is my weeks. These are my weeks.
This is the time of the season. This is where Fraser makes his big push.
These are my weeks. If I'm still doing shit in the next 2 weeks, then my whole wildcard strategy is completely failed. So there we go.
Now somebody. Dave was all right. Dave had a pretty I'd say that's half decent. 60. It's the average, isn't it?
Yeah, he was a bit unlucky in the head-to-head.
Like he's not here.
Bit unlucky, Dave, in the head-to-head.
I know.
Lost by 1 point to Lewis. So yes, in the head-to-head, Adam beat me 72 points to 55. Yes, that is below the average again. My wife, Lou, beat Luciano 78 points to 29. Elusive Man beat Chris Jackson 69 points to 50. Christian beat Chipper Spice 86 to 73.
Christian's getting a bit leery.
Yeah. Get to pipe down once Forest get relegated.
Yeah.
Gar beat Phil 82 points to 73. Andy Cox might have a question coming up later. Beat Fraser 68 points to 41. And the average beat Mike Redmond 62.53. And then, as I said, Lewis beat Dave 61 points to 60. We have a top 3 in the head-to-head. Oh, that's not right. There we go. Oh, my son is on 55 points. I failed to beat him last week. He is 10 points clear of second on 45. Is Gouar Lewis. And then my wife and Fraser joint third on 42. I'm fucking miles behind. I don't know how. I feel like I've lost every week for ages, but apparently I haven't. It's only been the last 3 weeks. Before that, I won a couple. It's like it feels like I've just lost every game for ages. But yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
I'm behind the average. The average is 1 more games than me. Just not great.
Oh,
Dave,
yeah.
you're catching me up. It feels, or I'm getting somehow you're only 6 points behind me. But I'm another 15 points off top. Fraser, 4th, 3rd, 42. I think the boy's going to win it, isn't he? Unless he goes on an absolute stinky run. Which doesn't look very likely.
You need to muffle him in his sleep. It's the only way.
Maybe I won't do that. I don't know. I'm not that desperate to win the FPL. I could just sabotage his team, I guess. Probably I'll block his computer
just
time.
Get his login and delete his account.
Just block his computer time so he can't do anything. Block the app on his phone.
I think that might be worse.
Just fucking carry on winning. So, double game week this week for a few teams. Blank game weeks the week after. More double game weeks coming up. All sorts of stuff going on in the next month or two. We've got cup finals, FA Cup next round, messing things up. More teams that will be missing weeks later on and then having to make them up in other weeks. So, yeah.
Dare we talk about strats for this weekend? My team's done. My team's selected and done, so I can't change it now.
Oh, you can change it.
Oh, I can, but I'm not going to.
I made 2 subs. I made 2 transfers the other day. I gambled, I guess, because I was like, fuck this, I'm just doing it now. I was looking at it, I was like, yeah, I'm going to fucking do it. So, don't know if anyone's heard. Pedro Porro, out for 2 weeks, injured.
Yes. Did you have him in there?
I hoofed him out the day I did with transfers because it's costing me he's got loads of money tied up in him, and I'm like, he's just not getting the points.
Well, see, you got to win. You get the odd win then.
Yeah. So that went well. We'll see. I've put an Everton defender in for the Palace game this weekend, and obviously he's got a game next week. Branthwaite, the guy that got completely checked by
Chris Palace are going to win.
I don't know about that. What if I win it for Roy?
No, all these teams, every time the manager gets sacked, they go and win the next game,
sacked
don't
yet?
they? Is he? He is. He's sacked. He's in bed. He's on a drip. He's done.
Yeah, we'll see. He's big old Roy. Poor old Roy. He's not very well.
He is sacked though, isn't he? Right?
Well,
is he not?
He's got a replacement lined up and everything. The guy gets in limbo because he's
okay. They just did him the common courtesy of not sacking him when he was on his way to the hospital.
Yeah. So I think
is he sick?
Get sacked.
Is he sick?
Know. I think so. He went to hospital. Wasn't very well. I don't know.
Or did he know the sacking was coming?
Well,
like, I don't think he's that. Me, you
I don't think he'd do that. Would you? I don't think he'd do that.
I really don't know.
He's old, mate. He's old.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how you can be a Premiership manager at that age. The pressure must be.
Turns out you can't. I can't remember what I was going to say. Big things this weekend is listening to the FPL community, like I do, like the 2 podcasts that I listen to.
Yep.
Everyone says in
that pays dividends, doesn't it?
Well, I listen to it. I do the opposite of what they say because it's fucking annoying because everyone else does what they say. There's loads of triple captains apparently. There's like I follow the Twitter page as well. So it says there was 500,000 triple captain chips played the other day. I assume it's going to be a couple of million by tomorrow. It's Erling Haaland triple captain week.
Yeah, no triple captain for me. I wildcarded. I've hoofed. Did I wildcard or hit? No, I took a free hit.
Oh, a free hit? Oh.
Yeah.
See, I'm saving that for later in the season.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, but I don't want to freak because if I wildcarded, basically I've got every position covered for a double, as long as everyone plays, every position covered for a double game week. So I'm effectively getting 30 games.
I'm trying to look at my team now and see
so you've free hit. We've got 15 players.
I've got
playing twice, 15 doubles.
No, I've got 12 people playing twice.
Ooh.
So
okay. Well, we'll see how this works out.
Triple captain, yeah, but I didn't want to wild card it because straight after, I can't. If I wild carded to that, I can't recover quick enough.
For next week. See, I'd
because
had
Luton
this like planned
game,
out.
Liverpool. Yeah, I did have it planned out. The irony is, I'd kept Salah this whole time and binned him today.
On a free
And
hit.
he might be
He's just
on
going to
this
come in and
weekend.
score a fucking ton of points now, isn't he?
Maybe. I don't think he's going to play. I don't know.
He's going to play because he will need some
I'm
minutes
confident.
before the cup final. But I don't. He's not. He'll play like. Thing is, when he plays, he usually plays like at least 70 minutes.
We'll see.
No, he's
They
been
said
injured.
it was his hamstring was pretty bad.
Well,
from
if
my
he's fit, if he says
understanding.
he's fit, he'll play. I reckon. I don't know. Now he's
We'll
saying he's
see.
fit. You can see him playing a lot of minutes, but hopefully he gets injured in the first game.
Anywho, I don't have him, so it doesn't. So we'll see. But yeah, I put the old big man in. Haaland's up the front.
Yeah, he's expensive now. I don't know if you've noticed.
I did.
They
but he'll be gone
totally
next week.
fucking rigged that, didn't they? He went out like he was the most owned player in history of FPL or whatever. Got injured, and the ownership went from like 80 odd % down to like 40% or something stupid. Loads of people got rid of him. And then but he only went down by 0.1 million the whole time he was out injured. And he come back and he's up gone up 500,000 in like a week. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, they fucking rigged that. Because Salah didn't go down. He didn't go down too much either. And it's going to just get more and more expensive again. So
I'm not paying that much attention to the economy.
Well, I've played the economy game quite well. Unfortunately, it's not worked out any other way.
Dave, you ready for the weekend?
Just looking at my team now. I was literally looking at my team trying to get as many double game weeks in.
Well, you're not. Are you transferring? Because you've got to worry. Like Liverpool have got a double game week, but next week, the following week, they're not playing. So I've got 3 Liverpool players and 1 Spurs player. So I've got a full 11 the following week, assuming no one gets injured.
Yeah, that's like I say. That's why I played that free hit because I don't think I could recover quick enough. Because Luton miss a week as well.
Yeah,
don't
Luton, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Spurs all miss a game the following week.
I've basically been planning this all week, and every day this week I've been like, should I do it now? And I'm just do it tomorrow. Do it tomorrow. Do it tomorrow. Anyway, okay. Dave's going to be busy in the background there. He thinks he's going to get that sorted out quickly. Good luck with that, Dave.
No, I'll just do it in 20 minutes. It'll be fine.
Yeah, fine. Just do it right now in the middle of the show. All right, let's go into listener stuff then. Colin, friend of the show, Colin says, so did you all get excited this week with the so-called Xbox leaving the console space, or were you bothered?
Rosie, you've had this. This has been your big prediction, not necessarily official prediction, but like.
No, I sit around in a I'm in another forum with some guys who really talk about this stuff in depth, and quite a few of them are in the industry. People who really know what they're talking about, not like us. And yeah, I might have changed my tune a little bit actually. I think a week or two.
What they said.
No, well, a week or two ago, I was like pretty much sort of like, okay, that's Xbox done and dusted in the console market. But somebody else is now a few more discussions and whatnot, and there's probably something else coming from them. They don't think they're gonna. Somebody basically what they said was Xbox leaving the console market leaves far too much of a gaping hole of gaping revenue hole that they just can't not have anymore, right? So even though the Xbox. Yeah, Microsoft. So even though there's, even though, yes, they're not performing anywhere.
Well, they're going to just let Google come in and take all that. Oh, no, they won't be doing it either, will they?
Yeah, so, even the fact that they've sold, whatever it is, a fifth of what PlayStation have sold, is still a sizable chunk of business. You can't get away from that fact, right? So,
well,
I don't know. We're going to see. So
the total users across all platforms hasn't really changed much in the last decade, apparently. They reckon there's been 170 to 180 million units of each sort of generation.
It's almost a mature market, right?
Yeah, so that's why they're all like, the big talk is, the big thing that kicked off all of the shit storm was the rumours, which are basically confirmed that Xbox are going to bring games of theirs, their former exclusive, to other platforms, including PlayStation. That being most likely Sea of Thieves, because that's a good fit. It's like a huge community game. And if they get more people playing that game, so much the better for them. Especially if they sell them for $50 to $70, quid, whatever, on PlayStation and Switch, and it's just everything will be bundled in Game Pass, or you pay money for it on another platform. They've already said that Game Pass won't be going anywhere else. That's their platform.
Yeah.
There will be new hardware this year, apparently. New Xbox hardware.
Well, imagine you know you're you're the guy, you're the lead for Sea of Thieves or whatever, or it's your game, right? You're the one responsible for Sea of Thieves, and you've been limited to Xbox and PC so far, and then they suddenly turn around and go, well, now you're on PlayStation. I mean, that's just awesome, isn't it? Right? You know, you're just suddenly how many more millions and millions and millions of
there's a lot more millions of people potentially
ship skins you're going to sell and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting.
So they reckon it's going to be Grounded and Sea of Thieves are going to be PlayStation and Switch, I'd assume, and then Pentiment and Hi-Fi Rush are the other two. But I don't know if they're going to be on PlayStation as well. Probably.
But you could have told me Hi-Fi Rush was on PlayStation. I would have gone, is it? Okay. So it's just, it's almost, I think from what I can see is that, you know, Xbox hasn't succeeded, isn't succeeding the way it is. They're making changes. The hardcore fans can't handle it. And no one else, and everybody else.
It's fucking knobheads.
The hardcore knobheads, and nobody else gives a shit.
Yeah,
just give us.
I can't see it's that much of a big deal.
It's not.
They're still keeping exclusives on their platform. Halo, whatever else. What else?
So far, the thing is, there's obviously work involved in putting the bigger the game, the more hassle that's going to be to put on another platform.
Is it though?
Yeah, because it's a big enough hassle getting it out on the Xbox, let alone fucking putting it on PlayStation as well. I know they're very similar, but
it's obviously going to make them money because they wouldn't. They're just looking at what they've got. How can they make more money on it? It's pretty simple. Yeah, I didn't even realize half those games weren't on PlayStation. And if PlayStation, unless people with PlayStation have got PCs, they'll probably never get access to those games as well. So I don't know. I can't see it being too hard for them to do. You know, they're obviously going to try and make profit from it. Anything exclusive, I think they'll keep until they've bled the market driver on PC and Xbox, and then they'll port it across.
Well, they're going to be a year old at least, I think, before they go across.
Yeah, I did see Phil Spencer having a dig at Helldivers.
Yeah, he wants Helldivers on Xbox.
So what? You know, who's this helping? It's like, that's.
Thing is that I mean, that's done really well, despite its early launch problems. It's got the I think it was in the top 10 most concurrent players of Steam in history or something yesterday, ahead of Rust and something else that you'd thought would probably have done better. I feel like maybe they fixed that now, but not 100%.
Well, I'm going to talk about it later.
Yeah. But that they would sell definitely like a good few copies on Xbox, a good couple of million probably if it was on Xbox as well. So maybe it'll end up on.
But it's funny that Xbox is suddenly deciding they're porting their games over to PlayStation. Then as soon as PlayStation gets a decent,
PlayStation also this week said that they are going to be looking more at multi-platform because they're not making enough money because their games cost even more fucking money to make, so they need to get more money for them. So they're going to be like the talk is now PlayStation's going. When the big ones come out.
All this is going on.
But also they said there's no fucking new games coming for PlayStation until 2025. Right. Like big franchises, God of War, fucking Last of Us or whatever, nothing like that coming out till at least 2025.
But we're being told how much money these companies are making and how many staff they're laying off, and then also they need more money by porting all their consoles. Yeah. It's such a weird chasing after the profit.
I think the industry though, it's just the problem with games is the technology moves so quickly, and not even. I mean, it used to be just the hardware improving, but it's not even that now. The whole how are things delivered to customers has completely changed.
how do we scrape every nickel and dime out of them?
Well, there's always that, but you know, like, I mean, it's quite possible that having your own ecosystem, like, so Microsoft might be doing the greatest thing here, getting out of that sort of, starting to make the moves away from having a hardware ecosystem.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems to me surely somebody else should be doing the heavy lifting on the manufacturing, right? Why can we not have some sort of standard where you have 2 to 3 competitors?
Philips game console.
Well, all you need is some sort of standard, like say, here's the standard for you guys to produce it. Panasonic can put one out. Samsung can put one out. So-and-so can put one out. Have a bit of competition. I don't know. I think things will change. Or will it just be, or will it get to a point where, everything is bundled in televisions or everything is bundled in a stick that you attach to the back? I mean, I just don't know.
You reckon that's what we're
getting? And I don't think anyone else knows, right?
Is that what the Xbox hardware is going to be? A streaming puck type thing?
A thin device, yeah.
Because they said they're not going to do a pro, like they're not going to do an intermediate console supposedly, and then they said the next console is going to be the biggest generational leap ever, and I'm like, that's fucking some big talk. That. How the hell are we going to do that?
Why would they do that?
They have to. That's the market.
They can't help themselves, can they?
No.
All right.
I don't know what that's going to do there. It's going to have 32K visuals. But no one's got a TV with that, obviously. It's going to blow your dick off.
All right. Well, I hope it does. That's great. Thank you very much, Colin. Appreciate it. Master Blackthorn says, been trying to play Enshrouded with my mate in Australia, and the lag is so bad that I could fly there from the UK in the time it takes to swing a weapon. What's the worst game you've played for this with mates overseas? I've never played. It's only really been transatlantic, I think, me playing with you guys.
Well, I don't think it's the same kind of thing, but Valheim was having a fucking fit when we tried 10 or 12 people trying to do that big boss.
Yeah.
And that was right. I was losing my shit because I was like, I've had a really good time with this game, and now it's literally playing at about 3 frames per second, and I can't do anything.
I'd say Enshrouded is still in early access.
Yeah.
So
was Valheim, to be fair.
The best way to do it is get a server that's central to both.
Not sure you can overcome the geography with that.
Well, you can.
The lag you're going to have noticeable lag, of course, but
yeah.
Does it? But it shouldn't be horrendously bad.
I don't know how far. How long does it take the speed of light to travel to Australia, like from up, obviously through space via satellite or whatever?
I don't know. It's pretty quick.
Yeah, it's quick.
Like,
it takes 8 minutes for the light to the sun to get to us apparently.
Oh, but that's millions.
No, like it is quick, and you will get noticeable. Like I can notice, like I got to a point certainly with something like that. I can notice the lag on Hunt when I'm playing, but Hunt is a little bit different because I think. No, there's like it's almost like you make your hits. There's a little bit of lag when you play Hunt across the pond, but there's
I seem to do better when I'm playing on like US servers. I don't know whether
that's because I got you covered. That's because I got you covered, bro.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I could notice like the ping, the problem with the ping. I think there's a difference. Like bad ping, okay, bad lag. I mean, that's probably game side, right? That's the problem with the game and the servers. Dave, come on, this is your
Oceania is notoriously bad for having servers.
They're a bit backward down there.
No, I don't think the internet's too clever in Australia on the whole. I'm sure big cities are fine, but it depends where you are in Australia.
That's true. Same here.
But,
yeah.
All right. Thank you, Master Blackthorn. Friend of the show, Lewis, him of Ohio, says, my question is, of course, footy related. Basically, how does Neil feel being the meat in a Gwar and Gar standings sandwich? A Gwar and Gar standings
it'd be
sandwich.
Better if I was second and they were first and third. That's what I'm saying. But, we're all not doing very well, apparently.
The Americans are giving it a large again.
Well, they can't give it that much of a large if they're next to me. I was over 7 millionth game week rank last week or something stupid. I was like, that's fucking the worst I think I've ever done. 7.5
Oh, yeah?
million on the game week. You must have been really bad.
I was really bad. I dropped a lot of places. Thank you for reminding me. Good to hear from you, Lou. I'm looking forward to seeing what you get up to this weekend with your team. Always got an eye on this guy. He's trouble. We have a question from Pilch. He says, so have you ever sat down excited to play a nice new game only to find you played it 5 years ago? I think he was referring to Bloodstained, wasn't he?
Yes, it was. Because I was like, I don't know what game that is. And then I boosted it up and went, oh, now I know what the game is.
Yeah.
Well, I had not played it 5 years ago.
No?
No.
Um,
Well, does that mean I bought it before then? Because it's out on Game Pass now, or had it been in? Because Game Pass wasn't a thing 5 years ago.
I think it was one of the. It was on Game Pass.
Was Game Pass 5 years old?
Game Pass could be 5 years old. Yeah, quite possible.
Maybe it was on and then it went away.
I think it was on Game Pass. Yeah. It wasn't a Games for Gold or anything like that, was it?
I don't know.
Launched in June 1st, 2017.
What, Game Pass?
7 years. Nearly 7 years.
Oh, okay. No. That's mad, isn't it?
Yes. That's something else, eh? No, Pilch. Get your shit together.
I can understand why he hadn't played it in 5 years, though.
Yeah, it was on Game Pass before. That was
literally picked it up.
I can understand why he hasn't. He's literally made like no progress for 5 years. I can understand why, having played it briefly.
All the screenshots are not very good.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, we'll talk about it in a bit.
I don't know. Are you going to play it? Have you played it?
Yeah, I played it 5 years ago.
Right. Okay.
Andy Cox says, asking for a friend, how do you feel about your performance in the head-to-head league last weekend? I'm sorry, Fraser, as a QPR fan, victories are a very rare commodity and need to be cherished, no matter how pathetic it may look. It's quite all right, mate. You get the boot in while you can. Yeah. I mean, happy about last week. Is that it? Are we done now talking about that performance last week? I was genuinely pissed off, I think. I was just
That's what I've been like for the last 4 weeks.
I really, really thought I might. I mean, actually saying that, I think if I'd done just a little bit below average, it might have even been worse because that would have lingered. This was just wholesale fire and destruction of my team and burned to the ground. It was just fucking. It might. Yeah, if you're gonna go big, right?
I looked back. I'm going to talk a bit more football briefly, but I looked back because I've made the big fucking wild card like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I'd looked back at the previous few weeks to that, and I was like, all the players that are now like Saka and Watkins, who smashed it like 2 or 3 weeks in a row after I took them out. I looked back and they'd literally got me like 2, 2, 2, 2 for about 4 or 5 weeks beforehand, and I was like, they're loads of money. I can't have that. And then, like I say, the week I took them out, that's when they all went and hit form again. I was like, take the piss.
Was it last week that Saliba scored?
Yeah, and Gabriel.
I mean, Saliba, I've had him in my side for months, and he is just 2, 2, 2, 2. And I finally just put him on the bench for 1 game, and he fucking scores a goal.
Got 14 points.
You would have fucking shitting me.
Yeah. Cursed.
I think at that point, when Saliba scored at that point, I just laughed and I was like, you're fucking this game, right?
It's right, as if it's like completely random and almost akin to gambling.
Yes.
This doesn't cost any money. Just sanity.
And dignity.
And enjoy it, Andy, is all I can say. Enjoy it while you can. All right?
Let's look at the league table.
And thanks for the message. Cheers, mate. Okay, let's move on to what we've been doing. Dave and I have got nothing in here at all.
Wow. Usually I'm the one who's got nothing.
Think of anything.
Nothing worth talking. Come on, Neil, you filled it out.
I forgot to mention in my IKEA spree chat last week. I bought a double bed, split the double bed together, blah blah blah. I forgot I mentioned I bought 2 lamps while I was at IKEA. That were not for my daughter. They were for me. Because they're the lamps that have got
Give me 2 lamps.
Sonos speakers built in. And they're pretty fucking cool, I gotta be honest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They're not cheap, but they're a lot cheaper than Sonos speakers. So now, like, we moved the lounge around, as I said. So now the TV's on a wall, not on a wall, but like flat against a wall on a TV bench with the sound bar, and then the sofa opposite has got the lamps either side with the speakers in. So we're back to having full surround sound, and they definitely sound more spatial than the other speakers that I had before, which are now in another room.
Awesome.
So yeah, pretty impressed with those things. Did the whole Apple fucking iPhone, walk around your room and it tunes the speakers and everything. And yeah, sat down and watched. Well, the football sounds amazing. And yeah, I watched. What did I watch? I watched about 10 minutes of a film. I was like, "Yep, it's working, cool." So, but yeah, haven't actually got much use for it myself last week. But Mission Impossible's hit Sky today, so I'm going to be watching that definitely soon because that was a pretty fucking cool movie, and I bet that sounds like amazing in full surround sound. So, yeah, the symphonic lamps, so pretty cool.
He's all in.
Yeah.
He's all into the ecosystem.
We had the birthday parties last week and stuff last week. So obviously my daughter was 18. Went out for the day Saturday. Went to a tapas bar over in Wolverton. Going up market.
Oh, I like a tapas now and then. Yeah.
We spent loads of money at the tapas.
Yeah, it has a way of like completely.
Well,
rinsing
it's
you
like
out.
you order a bit of food and you're like, that's not enough food. Order some more bits. Order some more bits, and then there's loads of food, and it's just like, yeah. So I was pretty stuffed after that. Well, that was nice. And then, yeah, Sunday we went to my mum and dad's for a party. I just was absolutely fucked and slept for about 2 hours while I was at my mum and dad's for a party. But yeah, they all seem to have a nice time anyway. And then the
And
other
your son's
day,
got the dartboard up.
Oh yeah. I put the dartboard up. I bought some MDF, 2 sheets of MDF, screwed a load of MDF together to put underneath the dartboard as like protection for the wall. Because otherwise there'll be like dart. Well, to be fair, there was only 2 dart holes in a week or so of it being up. But you know, now there's stuff in the way that can just go into the cupboard if we have, you know, I don't know, for some reason like a party or whatever in the background. Like summertime, maybe with people around, we won't want all that shit in there. But yeah, so the dartboard's up, 5'8" to this bullseye. 7'9" and a quarter or something on the yoki. Yeah, it's all
I
ready.
don't know, mate.
Yeah, there we go. It's all done. So he's been out there practicing. Kept moaning about how his arm was hurting.
Oh yeah. He's got to feel the burn.
Yeah. But yeah, he's been enjoying that. It's good. It was a good present.
Training.
Yeah, it's darts. Yeah, my arm's really hurting from all the darts I'm throwing.
Yes, definitely darts. And then the other night we went to football training and we hadn't had dinner. And I was on the way home. I was like, I really fancy a kebab. So I said to him, I was like, do you fancy a kebab? And then we was like, fucking all ball ache trying to get a kebab. So I went to my old kebab shop, which there's a sign saying it was Tuesday. From the 1st of March, they're not going to be open on Tuesdays anymore. And you know what? I wish they'd fucking shut on Tuesdays already because it was the shittest kebab I think I've ever had.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck is
You
this?
think it'd be like nice and fresh?
There was
you
like
know,
no
just,
one
just
there.
freshly cooked.
Fucking lame. It was crap. So that's put me right off going there again.
Yeah.
Yeah, what
Not
a
the
bummer.
kebabs.
Yeah, no, the
Put you off
kebabs. The kebabs were put me off.
We're going to meet up in Marlow anyway, and we're going to go to the
The
famous
van.
kebab place.
The van.
Yeah, the van.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. And I just want to give a shout out to Fox's Rocky Bars. Just the plain red Rocky Bars. They're fucking awesome. If you like a chocolatey biscuit, chocolate covered biscuit, they're just so fucking nice. I could eat loads. I could just eat loads of them, loads and loads of them. Just not stop eating them.
Wow, where's that come from?
I don't know. Just like my son was eating the caramel ones, I don't know. My wife had bought him the cow. My
Like
one's in
you've
his
had a
lunchbox.
revelation.
No, I was just, I was just like, I'm just going to mention this. I feel like they're underappreciated. No one ever mentions Fox's Rocky Bars.
How many did you bosh in one go?
I only did 2 the other day. I was like, I better stop now. But I could have just carried on. I was like, 2, that's a bit naughty. But yeah, Fox's Rocky Bars. Check them out. You haven't already.
All right. I feel like we're achieving the heady heights that the Seal podcast should be achieving on episode 212.
Yep. This is the most Seal podcast episode ever.
All right. Let's move on then to what we've been playing, I guess. It's back to Neil again.
Oh,
it's the Neil and the Dave show. I got nothing in there. I've been, I'm going to put Hunt because I have been playing Hunt, and and neither of you have put Hunt. So there we go. I put something in there now. All right. Do you want to start then, Neil? You've got.
I've got a brief one, I guess. I always say that, and then you take the piss, and it goes on for ages because you keep me talking. I bought a game this week. It was on sale on Steam. I think it's on sale everywhere. Or has been. It's called Armored Core 6: Fires of Rubicon. So it's a From Software game. The makers of Dark Souls and Bloodborne. But it's not really like those games. It's hard, but it's not like them. Because you're a big mech guy who can change his legs and arms and weapons and stuff. I've only played about an hour.
I'm very interested in this.
Yeah, I got it. I picked it up from Green Man Gaming for an extra £5 off. It was 30 quid. So I'm trying to get a video, but every time I get one, there's a fucking knobhead's picture of some dickhead on it. Right, okay. Hopefully this one's all right. So yeah, it's very different in structure to those other games. You go basically, I've played through the first sort of 2 or 3 missions and a tutorial. So it basically just runs you through a tutorial straight away. And yeah, you're a big old mech with 2 legs. Apparently, at some points you can put like tracks, like big tank track.
Like number 5.
Yeah.
Johnny 5.
Johnny 5 is alive. But you're a guy. There is a human in this thing, I think, or an augmented human inside the mech. Yeah. And yeah, you were referred to as 621. So I don't know. You're not a real person, obviously. You ain't got a name.
Oh.
And yeah, you just go into Rubicon. You got to blow shit up, basically. And it's taken me a time to get used to the controls, I have to say. But I feel like I'm starting to get there. And then I had a fight with someone. I was just like, yeah, I'm not really getting this fucking. Because the thing with the Dark Souls games, you click the right stick and you're like your movement is always relative to your target. I really want that in this game. It's like it'd be a lot easier to just click on something and go, now I just know, like, I want to dodge left, dodge right, blah blah blah. You've got like a little. There's so many ways to boost, and some of them drain your energy, and some of them don't. So it's like I've got to get to grips with it. Really, I'm still very early, and like I played an hour. Got my ass kicked quite a few times by another Armored Core, being piloted by a noob. It's not a real person, but yeah, it tells you in the game this guy's he's just delivering it, and he kicked my ass like 3 or 4 times. Like, oh,
he's just a delivery guy. Oh my god!
And he tells you,
as an aside,
when he beats you, he goes, "Oh, did I really just beat an?" I was like, "Yeah, fuck off." Restart mission. Because
I'm watching the video. This does not look like what I was expecting of this.
Yeah, it's pretty hectic. What was I saying? Yeah. So anyway, you've got weapons on like all your triggers potentially, or like you can change what's in your right arm, your left arm, and you've got like missile launchers on your back, or it could be a shield. So there's a lot of shit going on in my brain trying to remember all of the controls. I'm like, do I want to block this shield? And then I've got like a big, on my left arm at the minute, I've got like a big sword electro sword thing that comes out, and like it looks bonkers when it's like you're all kicking. When it goes well, it feels great, but when it's not going well, it doesn't feel great. So you're like, oh, fuck, missed.
What are the options for us to fight each other in a game like this?
I don't know what there is. There is online, but I don't know. It says something about playing in multiplayer, but I haven't really looked into that. Whether it's like a co-op thing, I don't know. Or whether you can just fight each other, like you get invaded in Dark Souls and stuff. I don't know if you get invaded like this.
Problem I have. Here's the problem I have.
You only play one
is that
game.
in 20 or 30 years of gaming, every time I see anything like this, I'm like, that could be the coolest fucking video game I've ever seen in my life. It's just mechs do that to you, right? Just mechs are fucking great. But I have never really have any success with the games. I don't know what it is.
Well,
it'd be interesting to see how you fare with it, right?
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. This is the structure of the game is very different. Like you're not in like an open world. You go into a mission, into an area, and it's all like if you get towards the edges of where you're supposed to go, like a little red laser wall comes up. It doesn't fucking
right.
Like just like that's the edge of the red zone. You're not going any further than that. But they are quite big areas in some. This is like I say, this is all still very early, so they could get very big. And I know there's massive boss fights to have and stuff like that. So I'm still learning the mechanics. And like I say, when you finish a mission, you get, because you're a mercenary basically, so you get paid. You pick up a mission, and at the end of it, you get paid. But out of your whatever you get paid, you have to pay for your repairs and any ammunition that you used in things, and then you get your net profit at the end. And with your net profits, you can go to the shop, buy new guns, buy new heads, buy new arms, buy new legs, buy new cores, buy new generators, buy boosters, buy fucking everything, and then you can sell all your old shit if you want. So you can change up the way you play as you get further into the game.
Yeah, I guess you're going to know more about it the further in you go. I'm just curious as to whether you can just keep grinding away and you're naturally just grinding away going to get more powerful even if you're not successful, or does it sort of block your progress if you're not successful?
I don't think you'll get blocked, because like when you've done a mission, it just disappears. There's no like missions to redo. So, well, so far at least, like every mission I've done is cleared off the list, and then it's like it will unlock another bit of story, sort of thing. Once you've cleared the missions that are on your list, and then you'll go get some more missions and just go and fight some more mechs or like helicopters or whatever. Yeah,
I mean, it's Armored Core 6, right? So does anybody have any experience?
I've never played another Armored Core ever.
No, I don't think I have.
No, I'd never even. I mean, I knew of it, having played From Software games, but never seen.
I mean, we were keen on the mech games, weren't we? What was the one we were trying to play? Set up the league. BattleTech. Yeah, that was
very different to this.
Well, yeah, but I think as well we just wanted to be fighting each other with mechs, right? I think if someone can give us an option for that, that could be interesting. So yeah,
well, I'll look into it.
Agent Neil, go find. You will anyway. Naturally, you'll come back and report.
Yeah, more I play. I'm definitely playing a bit more of this anyway because it's like I was.
You're
when I first played it, I was
you're like the Steel Scout, aren't you? You go out and find the talent,
find the good games, and then I have to convince one of you to fucking carry on playing.
Only one.
Yeah, but it's on sale until the 22nd, I believe, on Steam. I don't know about the other platforms, but I know it's been on sale on Xbox and PlayStation as well. About 40% off, I think. So it was I remember. I mean, obviously, I'd seen it and I thought I had it on my wish list for ages, and I was like, when I saw it, I was like, that looks pretty fucking cool.
It does look cool. Are these games massively more popular in Japan or something? Because we just don't really. It feels like there's a big mech presence out there.
You'll never guess who. When I said to somebody that we know, I said, "Oh, I got the new Armored Core 6 game." He said, "Oh yeah, I love a bit of Armored Core." Guess who said that?
Matt.
Yeah. So someone we know has played some old Armored Core.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't think there's been one for ages.
Oh.
Maybe 20 years, I don't know. When the last fucking one came out, I don't know.
We'll know a bit more about Armored Core next week.
Yeah, we certainly will. But yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on this. Yeah, I'm interested in this.
I don't think I played one of. I'm not sure if I played one of the previous games, but I definitely remember playing a mech game where it was tank controls for the feet, and
Mechasalt.
it could be, and different controls for the top half, and it was so disorientating.
Yeah. Well, this isn't that.
That isn't that.
Where are you
Good.
playing? Oh, you're playing this on your PC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yes.
All right.
Cool. Well, that's
Okay. I see Mark is in the chat, says he had a mixed meat fried rice box. That's awesome. I didn't need to hear that, actually. I'm hungry. That sounds good.
Get some
wondering
Rocky
what to have
bars.
for dinner.
Have some Rocky bars on toast.
I didn't want to have I don't want to have pizza tonight, but some fried rice would be nice. All right,
Fried rice is rather nice. Very good.
Yeah, even twice.
Ooh, uh-oh.
Dave, what you got for us?
I played Helldivers 2.
Oh, okay, another one.
This
Need to hear
looks
about.
fucking cool.
On Steam. Yeah, right. So I refunded it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it was broken.
Because it was broken.
In. Oh, okay.
I played 90 minutes. I was looking at the 2-hour timer. I completed, out of the 9 missions I did, I completed 1 mission that didn't crash, and I got the experience for. I completed 3 missions that I completed with other people, but I didn't get the mission rewards for because the servers were broken and it didn't count. So I didn't get any XP or level ups or anything like that. And the rest of them, the game crashed mid level, so I crashed out and didn't get the XP for it. But I know what the issues are. It's basically with my graphics card on the games that were crashing. The first time I booted it up, I couldn't actually get into the game because the servers were so overloaded, it wouldn't let anybody in. I didn't realize you just had to mash the X button until it actually allowed you in.
I think they got taken by surprise, though, didn't they, with the amount of people who were playing?
They did. Yeah. They openly said that it was a fucking shit show last weekend. I picked it up on Sunday morning-ish, and yeah, I played it for 90 minutes. I was like, do I refund it, or is it just the opening weekend? And I was looking there, like, and lots of people were suggesting to do various things. I was like, oh fuck it, I'll refund it. If I want to play it again, if I want to play it when it's actually fixed, I'll spend the money again.
Yeah,
The money's in my account now. But yeah, it seemed good. It's a 4-player co-op.
It's 4-player now, is it?
PvE. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it used to be 3 for some reason. Maybe it wasn't. The old one. I've got the old one.
Oh right.
Because it's very different.
Right. And you get so the way it is your character, your Helldiver, you can either quick matchmake or go into a lobby where somebody's choosing a mission. They choose a mission. At the moment, there's 2 main enemies, bugs and robots. You choose a loadout. You choose. I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically power-ups. Yeah, stimtogens. That you stratagems. I don't know.
Stratagems.
You pick them. You pick them, and then you've got to put in like a up, down, left, right code to choose it, because you get lots of different stratagems, and then you can either throw it or place it on the ground, and it does airstrikes.
They probably got
cooldowns
on them, I suppose. Have they
Yeah, they've all got cooldowns on them. And then the maps they're not massive, but there's lots of different missions and side missions that you've got to do on the actual in the map itself. But normally it just turns out around that you just murder everything and kill everything on the map,
including your teammates.
And then call in the drops, including your teammates. There is always on friendly fire.
Excellent.
That's where the comedy comes from.
That's where the comedy comes in, especially when you throw an airstrike into a compound, and then for some reason one or two of the people in your team just blindly charge in. And you're like, why are you even doing that? You know, every time there's a camp, everyone throws in the airstrikes and the orbital bombardments. But no, people just
people don't care. You reminded me of the story of and I convinced Matt he didn't want to storm one of the buildings in Hunt, and I convinced him that because people were in there, right, banishing the boss, and I was like, no, we should, and I convinced him that we should. He really didn't want to, and we walked up to the building, and I went, I'll throw a grenade in, and I missed, hit the window frame, it bounced back and killed us both. So mad.
But yeah, there's people who have been playing it a bit longer have had things like automatic turrets and stuff that lock onto the enemies and shoot, and they don't care if people are standing in front of them or not. And then also the drop pods where it drops weapons and these other things, ammo and stuff, that can kill people as well, because it's basically you can see your ship in the sky above your map, and it literally just drops or does bombardments from it onto the areas where you do. It's really good. It looks really cool. There's a strong Starship Troopers vibe with it.
It basically is Starship Troopers the game, isn't it? Like it's so close to the fucking the democracy bullshit, everything. It's all in there.
And you strongly it keeps like telling you to salute the fucking rockets, and you're fighting for democracy, and it's
and you fight massive bugs as well, which is amazing.
There's massive bugs.
But but anything that's damaging the bugs can damage you, is that right? Is that what I think that's good, right?
It is. It's a really that's where sort of you're making your own stories up. There's loads of different guns. They all feel quite different. And like you can blow the legs off all the bugs to slow them down, or you can just try and headshot them to kill them quicker. And it's strongly suggests teamwork. I did play just with randos, and a couple of them had headsets on, and we were chatting, and we were actually like working together. So yeah, it does. You do need teamwork. We don't need it, but it's strongly suggested that you use teamwork.
It's gonna help, right?
It helps a lot, yeah. But yeah, it's just a really cool, really slick game. Obviously, it's very popular. It's one of these that you can pick up and play for 20 minutes and get a good time out of it.
Or several hours.
Before you get to the 2-hour limit.
I've been following them, and they said they're this weekend.
They're worried, I think, this weekend that it's going to go to shit again because too many people.
Well, I'm patient. So.
But it's cross-platform between PlayStation 5 and PC. So I think it's still a bit of a problem on PlayStation as much as it is. It's not just a PC thing. It's just hugely popular, way more popular, I think, than they had planned.
It did blow up on Steam with the amount of it's kind of the most successful PlayStation game. But I think it's because it released pretty much the same time as PS5, and they've done quite well with some of the marketing, and they give it out to some YouTubers and stuff beforehand. So and it's a decent price on PC. It's 35 quid.
35 quid. I think it's only 40 quid on PlayStation. So
it's
a AA game. It's got good reviews. Obviously, people acknowledging that the issues that are with the game, but once it's working properly, it's going to be a lot of fun, I imagine. I know the first one was a lot of fun, but it was like a twin stick shooter over the top, isometric type thing, and it had all the stuff like the stratagems. You had to put in the D-pad, use the D-pad to put the code in to drop the fucking like big, massive explosive thing that's just going to wipe out stuff. And if you happen to be in the wrong place, and like you drop a weapon pod on it, or like slam it on top of your mate and all that stuff. And like my son who was playing with me would just literally just shoot me on purpose for fun. I was like, stop shooting me. He'd just throw a grenade at me, and I'd really be laughing. It was like, I was like, that's funny. Yeah, it's funny, but it's not funny 20 times.
But yeah, check it out.
All right. Okay, well, for no doubt we'll be hearing from that again then. Neil, what you want to go next?
Yeah, so I played a demo this week of a game. I think there's some positive buzz about. Ultros came out, I think, this week.
Never heard of it.
Well, it's a Metroidvania with a time loop element, so it's not quite roguey, but there is a bit of a point where you reach the game and you have to start over again. I don't quite know how it all works, that part, because I've only played the demo, and it's not a particularly long demo. This is like a game made by someone who was on mushrooms or something when they made it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking trippy as all anything, like Yellow Submarine kind of thing, visually. You remember the Yellow Submarine film? It's a bit like that, but probably even more colourful.
It says from the artistic vision of somebody wherever or
Hotline
something.
Miami guy.
Oh, is it? Is that the same
but
guy?
it doesn't look like Hotline Miami, but it's way more bonkers, way more trippy. The guy crash lands on the cosmic uterus known as the sarcophagus, I believe is how it's described initially. Whatever that fucking means. But yeah, it's a Metroidvania. So, and it's like sort of cartoony, mad, trippy visuals. And so obviously as you progress through the game, you get more abilities to reach new areas. I haven't, in the demo, I only got like a couple. I can't remember what they were now. You get like a thing that is attached to you, the floating orb thing that basically keeps changing, and that can change your abilities. It's just a bit of an assault on the eyeballs, really, but in a good way. Because it doesn't really look like anything else, I suppose, that you've really played. It's pretty cool looking. There's a bit of like when you kill enemies, they'll drop a portion of them, and you can like pick it up and eat it to like get your health back. And each different enemy has different qualities, and as you build up the amount of those qualities, you can spend them to unlock abilities. That's how you unlock your abilities. And also there's like a big skill tree web type thing. But yeah, so I fought this boss that's on the screen right now. This is the only boss in the game, in the demo. Yeah, there's a guard mechanic from the boss. Some of the bosses you can't hit unless you like break their guard, which you charge up your attack. There's other, like the boss, you have to hit it in its weak point, otherwise you can't do any damage to it. All that sort of stuff.
Standard fare.
Yeah. So, will I buy it? Don't know. I think it was 20% off at the minute. I don't think it's super expensive. I think it's 14 quid somewhere. I saw Green Man Gaming again. So I was like, yeah, it's tempting. But I've got quite a lot of fucking games on the go at the minute that I really want to play. So this might wait. But yeah, it's a bit, I mean, it's very much formulaic in some ways, but it looks like nothing else you've ever played, probably.
Right.
And that the visual element is pretty cool. And from what I played, it controls great. The combat's good. So yeah, I think I will get to it at some point. But yeah, like I say, at the minute, got Armored Core, still not played The Last of Us 2, got Resident Evil 3 just came down on Game Pass. There's fucking tons of games I've got to play at the minute.
You don't have to play all the games.
I do want to play. They're not games I have to play. They're games I want to play. So, and I do want to play this at some point, I think. But yeah, maybe not right
You both
now.
have the same game on your list.
Yes. This game is taking up a surprisingly large amount of time.
Tarta.
Potato.
Took me ages to think of that joke earlier.
Yeah. So why are you both playing a lot of it?
It's one of those like, oh, I don't really fancy doing anything too complicated, so I'll just put potato on for like 10 minutes and then play for about 2 hours.
Yeah.
Much like the old Vampire Survivors thing. You're like, oh, it takes 10 minutes to do a thing. But then you just sit there for hours going, I could do this. I can change if I pick this guy, he's got plus 10 fucking luck. Oh, what does luck do? I don't even ever really looked at luck before. And then you just like,
That's it. You're gone.
then you start looking at all the stuff about luck. Oh, right. Okay. So it improves.
And then the numbers start floating around your head.
Yeah. Then like if you have more luck you have, the better drops come at the end of the levels. You're like, oh, right. Okay. So you get a higher grade of stuff if the more luck you have, usually. Not all the time. But yeah, like you certainly get more purples and purples and blues and whatever instead of just greys dropping in the purchase bit at the end of each level, end of each wave.
I did play a round and was picking a load of stuff.
Yeah, well, you need to start. It looks really stupidly simple, but yeah, it's like once you start getting in amongst the weeds, you're like, all right, okay, I've got to,
and you can. Yeah. And then engineering is about turrets and
about like the stuff you drop and how strong they are. Yeah. So, not about showing the video. So I've done one because you start off and you're on danger level 0, and when you finish a run of 0, it unlocks 1. And so I've done a 0 and a 1 with 2 different guys and 2 different completely different tactics.
Where are you, Dave? Have you done any? Finished a 0 or a 1?
I've finished a 0.
I only did the one today. Did one today with a completely different build, and it was tight. It was tight because the one you think when you play these games, the more health I've got, the better. Because I had one run when I was like my health was like max HP was 100 or something stupid, but I died because I had no regen of health, or like I wasn't like life stealing, stuff like that. So I wasn't regenerating my health quick enough. When it gets to the later stages, if you get hit, it's like taking big hits. But if you've got loads of automatically regenerating health, or there's like a life steal one, like the one I did today, I had several weapons. Like there's a thing called medical scissors, I think it is. So it's a melee weapon, but it's like every time you stab something with one of your scissors, you get some of your health back. You take some of their life back with you.
I think I had that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you get that to level 4. So when you've got 2 greys, you combine them to make a blue. You get 2 blues, you combine them to make a purple, and then you get 2 purples, you can combine them to make a red. Tier 4. I think if you get 2 reds, there's another level after that. I don't actually know. But every time you level them up, like we combine them, like the life steal keeps going up. The percentage life steal you get goes up, or the damage they do goes up, and then you free up a weapon slot for another weapon. So I had the one I did today. I only had like 32 max HP, and it was a couple of times I took a big hit. I was like, oh shit. Because it gets to wave 20 and the big boss drops and he's like a tank. He takes loads of damage, like shit loads of damage to kill him. But now I've searched for a few things on YouTube, my fucking the right of my YouTube feed is just loads of builds of Potato. Like I've got this crazy Cyclops build that fucking like do these. I haven't watched any of them. So I'm like, I don't really care. I just want to do it all myself. Like there was one run, I got really close to the end. And I was just running around with 6 sticks, just like poking things with sticks really quick. And like I'd combined them so they were high levels. And it was like I can't remember what every time it was like the thing with a stick is every other stick you have, each one does more damage. So when you've got 6 of them, they're all doing fucking loads of damage. So there's a lot of
combinations.
Like
some weapons have like guns are just like gun, but then you can get heavy guns, or you can get primitive weapons, and like getting these same types of weapons together gives them extra bonuses.
Yeah, some of them have got like the more of one thing you've got, maybe with some weapons is good. But yeah, it's quite addictive. It's like that whole that Vampire Survivors thing. Like the thing with Vampires that was good was it had all of the mad story lore stuff that was in there. There's none of that really in it. There's a bit of it, but it's all pure.
Because the map, you're quite contained on this.
Yeah, literally just there's one of the potatoes.
One of the characters has
a bigger map.
Big map, yeah.
As one of his perks, or is it a perk? I don't know. But yeah, it's not a problem. It's not become a problem having a very relatively small area to run around in.
Do you play with automatic shooting, or do you twin stick
because I'm
it?
just literally like sitting there one-handed while digging on the keyboard, just watching.
Yeah, I don't want to know about that.
I do use
All
my
right,
right
I
hand
gotta pick
occasionally
up.
on the
I
mouse.
gotta pick up. I gotta pick up and play more of that. I have got it, but I haven't played any more since last weekend.
Yeah,
so I'll
it
try
is
and
good.
play
It
some
is
this
good.
weekend.
It's addictive, and the music's fucking great. I love the music in it.
All right. Okay, Brotato again. No doubt be back again.
Yes.
What else we got? Anyone?
I got one, and Dave's got one. And then it's...
I've got a Dave game.
Ooh,
Oh,
let's
yeah.
do the Dave game. What have we got?
Shapes 2
Demo.
demo.
2.
Waiting for Neil to call up the.
No. Wait for Neil. Just because this is it, because otherwise people listening get a gap.
That was Shapes with a
The
Z.
majority of our audience.
Fill the dead air. Fill the dead air. Don't wait. No waiting
So,
in podcasting.
Shapes 2 is a
Is
game from a studio that also developed Shapes 1.
surprising.
Yeah. So it's basically a logic puzzle game with kind of Factorio elements. You mine or you extract shapes from areas on the map, and these shapes begin as circles or squares to begin with. And there's a big void that requires shapes in a certain shape to progress and unlock different abilities. So you start with something to turn the shapes around or chop them in half, and then once you've delivered a certain amount of shapes in the required shape that they need, they give you the ability to push shapes together to make new shapes, and then instead of cutting them in half and destroying half of it, that basically it's a logic puzzle on how to make different shapes and put them in a big pile in the middle.
What the fuck?
I said it was a Dave game. There is a lot of depth to it.
There has to be.
Yeah. Once you get to a certain part, and I've literally just got to it, is
The thing is, I'm looking at it, and it looks really slick, and it looks like there's a lot of shape cutting going on there.
Yeah.
On there, I'm looking at it on Steam. But looks like I'm laughing because you're describing, because that's a challenge to describe what's going on there.
Yeah.
This thing has got some massive assemblies going on.
Yeah, it starts simple and obviously gets more complicated as it goes on.
It gets complicated pretty quickly, though.
Well, it depends on the weird thing about this game, and maybe this is just the demo, but there's no fast forward. And a lot of these games is that you do the thing, you create.
Once you've got it going, you're just like,
yeah. This game doesn't have it. Maybe it's just the demo. Maybe that's the game. I don't know. But I got to a point where you work in a area, and this void is in the middle, and you basically you put the shapes in there that it needs. If you put the wrong ones in, it doesn't care. You don't get penalised or anything for it. But it's all about sort of you do one set of shapes and then it changes, and then you either modify or you completely scrap and you start again and do that. But now different colors are being brought in. You have to bring shapes in from further afield, and the shapes are not symmetrical. Yeah, obviously it's going to get a lot more complicated. I said it was a Dave game. It's a Dave game. It reminds me. It's really good.
It's very different, but it reminds me of that Opus Magnum with like you're basically making machines to like make.
That's it. I was thinking about Opus Magnum. Yeah.
You have an input. You modify it in the ways that you're able to put.
And then it just has to make shitloads of them. Finish it.
It makes more of them, and you can optimize it. If you're only putting in one shape per second, you can easily double, triple, quadruple the output. Make it as complicated as you want, and then maybe you don't need that anymore, and you just scrap the whole lot, and then you go on to the next one, or you can just slightly modify it. Yeah, it's really interesting for me as a logic puzzle guy. It's the demo. The demo was part of the Next Fest. It's not Next Fest now, but the demo is still playable on there.
Yeah, so I know some of those demos are saying nope.
Yeah,
uninstalled
I
a
think
few.
some of those were only available. This one's not. So
Shapes too.
yeah,
Shapes
it's
with
really
a Z
slick.
at the end.
Shapes with a Z, not a Z.
It's a really well presented. It's got great graphics. The interfaces are quite slick. The demo, I think, is a little bit. It's not the best in regards to some of the features. There's a few tutorials that won't go away, or you can't clear. But yeah, like the rest of it actually, like I don't know if you can see on the video at the moment, but it's showing you the shapes and how they're put together. You can put layers of shapes together, and when you first look at it, it looks okay, but there is an option to sort of basically pull the shape apart and see, okay, right, so the red part's on top of the white part, or there's a bit underneath that's a circle, but you've got to actually properly look at it, because you could go headlong and try and build something and it's all the wrong way around, but it's not that obvious if you just look top down on it.
Right.
But no, it's very well put together game. Actually I want to finish the demo and then I'll probably
Is the game out? The full game out?
No, it's not out yet. No.
Yeah,
No.
hold your
I don't
horses,
know.
Neil. Jeez.
Don't know when it is. Let's have a look.
Is it early 2024?
Are you going to get your shapes on?
Shapes.
Go and throw some shapes.
Early access, download. Planned release date 2024.
There you go.
Right. Cool.
All right.
Keep an eye on that one.
It looks good. Yeah. All right.
That's it.
What else we got?
I got
some
one
Hunt.
More. Are you going to do?
And I've got
some
Hunt on there. Is there anything to talk about in Hunt? The event finished. I've been killed a number of different ways today. I've been sneaking off and having some solos. Terrible. I've been burned a lot today.
Oh dear. Going through the hunters, are you?
My KD went up and then it went straight back down again.
Good. Yeah.
I did go into a game yesterday where I was pushing the boss, and then suddenly someone spoke in the voice chat, and then it turned out to be somebody I knew, and then they had another solo in there that they befriended. So there were three of us solo in the game, chatting around while the boss was cooking, and then another solo pushed us, and the three of us went out and killed him. Which is great. We were friends. I made friends in the bayou.
Nice.
Yep.
I've not
We've had some fun. No, we've had some good games.
You play weird times of the day where there's only 6 people playing.
Yeah.
The same.
But saying that, we were playing in the evening recently, weren't we? We were playing last night, weren't we? And we weren't getting full lobbies. Which is
I don't know. I don't really count them up.
Yeah, whatever.
I think
Hunt.
Maybe it's because like the end of the thing and people have gone, I'm going to play something else for a couple of weeks because
I can.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's not dwell on Hunt then. Let's get on with your last game then and call it.
The other From Software game that I've been playing this week in bits and pieces. Bloodborne, still playing. Not made tons of progress. Every time I watch this video, it looks so much better than what I'm seeing in my place. And maybe it's just because it's on a really small screen compared to the fucking 55-inch thing that's right in front of me when I'm normally playing. But yeah, so last week I think I'd got to the point where I'd got beat by Father Gascoigne, and I was like, nah, not ready to do that because I was too tired. So the next day, Saturday morning, I think I woke up early, was still a bit tired, but I thought, fuck it, no one else is up. I'm going to play Blood Bowl. So I got up, dragged my ass downstairs, and beat Father Gascoigne first go. It was close. He nearly killed me. I had to use about 17 of my blood vials, whatever they're called, to get through the fight. But I killed him.
Vapors or whatever they're called.
Blood vials.
Esters.
No, they're not esters. That's in Dark Souls.
Same
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, same thing, but different. So, yeah, I killed Father Gascoigne, and then you go to a cathedral and meet what looks like an old hag on the floor, but talks like a bloke. It's a bit weird. Usual shit. And yeah, she says, or they say, you've got to bring people here. It's a safe place. So there's a couple of people I'd met earlier on in the game at windows, and they were like, most people just tell you to fucking do one when you knock on the door. But a couple of them was like, have you got anywhere safe for me to go? Some old woman. And so I went back, told her to go to the cathedral. And there was a little girl that gave me the music box because I killed her dad, obviously, because he was a man beast. Turns into a fucking werewolf or something halfway through the fight. Spoilers. But so yeah, I sent her to the clinic, which is the way you start the game. And turns out, well, I don't think the doctor at the clinic's a very nice person.
Oh no!
But I haven't seen the dead girl yet. But I think she might die. Because when I went back to the clinic, she was like, "Oh, thanks ever so much for bringing her in. Well, telling her to come here. She's doing
That's
so well."
on your hands.
And then she says something, and then she starts doing this weird little laugh at the end. You're like, that doesn't sound too good, does it? Yeah, I think, to be fair, I don't know where you're supposed to send like the people to the cathedral or the clinic. I don't know. Someone I read on Reddit, someone's like, don't think about it too much the first time you play through the game. Just do whatever. Doesn't like, yeah, you might miss a quest here or there or whatever, but just whatever. Yeah, so I'm into sort of the next big area of Bloodborne, and there's this old Yarnum, and there's, as you enter, this guy, you can hear this voice telling you, we don't need your hunters here, blah, blah, blah. Everyone fucking likes you in this game.
No.
So yeah, this guy's telling you to fucking basically piss off. And then there's like new enemies that give, a couple of them give you like stack poison damage on you. So like if they keep hitting you, then
you're going to be in
you
trouble.
get absorbed. Like there's a poison bar that appears, and if it gets to the top, basically you then start taking poison tick damage as on top of getting hit and all that shit. And you have to have antidote to get rid of the poison. So got loads of antidote. That's not a problem. But yeah, as you progress through this next area, you sort of don't meet the guy initially, but he's got a great big fucking Gatling gun on top of a cathedral sort of looking building. And yeah, so whenever you're in vision of him after a certain point of that map, he fucking shoots this great big Gatling gun at you. If you get hit by that, it takes fucking loads of damage. It's like shit. Like get to the point where like you can hide behind a wall and then time the next run to the next blip. And there is a part of that map where you're like, oh, it's all right. Oh, I just run to that wall over there. I'll be all right. So you run over there and you run past all of this stuff that's in the way. The first time you run through there, you don't realise that all of the things that are in this area are fucking explosive barrels. So when he shoots them, they just fucking all go bang, 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 bang. You're like, fuck.
Nice.
So yeah, it does that bullshit stuff that they do in these games. But if you're quick, you can escape. I definitely escaped a couple of times. But yeah, so I climbed up a load of ladders in the vent. And the last thing I did was I got beaten by the guy with the fucking great big Gatling gun. And I was like, fuck this, I'm not playing anymore. Until the next time. Because it'd taken me ages to get to him. I was having a big... He moves around really fast. And it's like, oh, I'm running out of stamina. I've got no... Every time I get a chance to hit him, I've got no stamina. So I feel like I need to kill him, because once he's dead, I reckon he's probably gone for good. And you don't get shot at by the great big Gatling gun as you're walking around town. I think he's one of those characters because there's normal minions that always respawn, but usually in these games, if there's like a character, if you kill them, they tend to disappear, and they're like I say, you can hopefully run through without getting shot at by a great big Gatling gun everywhere. But yeah, that's where I got to in Bloodborne this week. Not very far, really. I spend a lot of time running around, getting lost because I'm thick. I can't remember the way around.
No, I remember being lost a lot in that game. It didn't, and I think Stan's found it the same thing, right? It's very much nondescript. It feels in its appearance.
I think I'm getting I could probably run around most of the first area. It's quite a big area. That's the thing.
It's bigger than you think it
Yeah,
is. It
yeah.
feels enclosed and quite cramped, but actually, there's a lot going on.
Once you start unlocking the whole place, there's still a gate right near the first entrance. Like I haven't unlocked. I'm like, I don't know how to get to this gate. The other side of this gate. Obviously, I need to get to the other side to unlock it so I can get through here. But yeah, so there is a bit of like I said, I had to go back to the original area to go and speak to these people that I spoke to earlier and all that sort of stuff. So, but yeah, I'm still largely enjoying it. But yeah, that guy really fucking did a job on me.
Yeah.
Don't know who he is. He's annoying, but he's going to die soon.
You shall vanquish him.
I will. He will be dead soon. Well, maybe not soon. Maybe I'll do some other stuff and come back when I've got a bit stronger. Maybe a bit more stamina. Because yeah, he's just like darting around. It's like I don't know, like he's on speed or something. It's well hard. But yeah, I'm enjoying the combat. Like most of the minions that I used to be scared of, I just run around. Like either just run past them or fucking wallop them a couple of times and they're dead now. Like the big dudes. There was one like I shit myself. There's really early, and like you're walking through these grim streets. You get this. The worst thing you can possibly do in all of these games is get a load of fucking enemies all on you at once.
Right.
So you have to kind of drag out a one or two at a time to fucking kill them off. Unless you're so good at the game that you don't care. But there was a big mob that I got past eventually after being really careful, and I could hear this thumping on the door. This happens really early in the game, and you go round the other side. You look at this guy, and he's fucking huge, and I was like, he must be a boss, but he's not. And they're no trouble for me now. I was like, the first time I saw him, I was like, I ain't going anywhere near him. He's way too big. But now I've got my axes leveled up a few times. I've got a bit more strength, a bit more health, a bit more stamina. Yeah, I ain't too worried about most of the normal minions that respawn. It's just like I say, it's the bosses and stuff. Like, there's definitely a couple of times you still get.
Yeah, I remember. I was watching Stan play, and I think he got access to a later portion of the game or something similar. I think he said to me these were higher level bosses anyway. But I mean, they were these dog things or whatever, and it didn't take long. Just one extra doggy can cause you a lot of problems, right? Yeah. And he was just overrun and killed a couple of times. But yeah, it's pretty neat. I've enjoyed watching him play it. Actually, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It is cool. Turns out the game that everyone fucking wants remastered.
Yeah, I mean, everybody always, lots of people loved it, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's it. Bloodborne continues.
All right. Okay. Well, I think that's everything we have on there. I'm gonna shuffle us along to the end. I want to go get some food, man. I'm hungry. I'm gonna go get some Chinese.
Been a lot of food chat tonight.
Yes, too much. Now I'm hungry. So, Dave, do you want to do your you redone your end bit yet?
No, of course not. Come on.
It's only had a week.
What did you take me for?
Week? We've been talking about it for months.
Yeah. Ready?
Sure.
Thank you for listening to the Seal Podcast. If you'd like to ask questions or get involved, please contact us either via email at sealpodcast@gmail.com. Join us on a Discord server. A link is pinned on Podbean, YouTube, X. We have YouTube and Twitch channels which we upload and stream to. Neil, chat. I don't think we have much chat today.
Yeah, just Mint Safe and Mark in the chat tonight chatting.
Thanks for stopping by. Much appreciated. Yep, it's good. Okay, all right. Well, should be back next week as normal. I don't think anything's going on. So
Yeah.
until then, thank you very much for listening, and we'll catch you then.
Cheers,
See you
guys.
soon. Cheers.